Deep from a bunker in a top secret location. In southern Indiana comes a gathering of the Gospel Broalition. If it's religion, politics, cars, guns, cigars, and anything else flammable, we're talking about it. For men, by manlier men. Get it? Got it? Good. This is the Gospel Broalition. And here are your hosts, Pastor Lee, J.R. Robinson, and the Hoosier Hillbilly, Mike Paul.
Well, welcome to the Gospel Broalition. Pastor Lee here, joined on my right, and we'll get to the video here pretty soon. There we go, joined to my right by the Hoosier Hillbilly, Mike Paul. To my left, Dauntless Gaming's J.R. Robinson. Joined in the studio always by Shutup Cameron, our token liberal and sound guy. And sweet Tony, who now identifies as black.
Sweet Tony.
So,
No, he is the video guy, not the sound guy.
oh, he's a video guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed my... Tony now identifies as black, so we're well represented.
That's right. We have a liberal.
So there's no way we could be racist because we have black friends.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And a liberal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I
So,
almost said something I shouldn't have.
But I'm I started working out. I'm
you're swole? now?
I'm sore, man.
Oh, I
What's
thought you were
up
going to
with
say I'm so
everybody working
swole.
out?
I'm sore because I'm so old. You know, with 55 when you work out, like the next day you can't even wash your.
I'm not working out.
I haven't so far. Amanda keeps talking about it, and the Turpins are all working out.
I'm gonna
It's
start, man.
It's a phase.
No, it's not
Coming
that
up
at all.
on me.
I saw a video of myself today, and I was so it was so grotesque. I said,
It's time.
I'm gonna start working out. I got a haircut, and every time I get a haircut, it makes my face look fatter. So
So you went to work out after getting your hair cut?
yeah, I saw it, man. I was like, oh my gosh. I did a little video for another organization that we're a part of. I can't name the church. And well, I guess we've tied into the church now, so right?
Yeah.
So everybody kind of knows who we are. So we won't. But this what we do here is not to promote the church.
No.
It's just
We
a
don't
separate-
promote anything
It's a separate
except
thing. But I'm so sore. I can already feel it. I won't be able to wash my hair tomorrow. It'll be like, it's and then plus I'm jacked up on energy drink. So
Did you work out with Luke?
I'll shoot now.
I'm going to
He killed
say.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
kept
wear
up
me
with
out.
that.
So it's good to see all of you here. We thank you for coming by, especially those who may be checking us out for the second time after you watched our Tom McDonald video, which we hope to do some more down the road. But we got so much stuff to talk about this week. Usually we just get on here, and as my wife calls it, jibber jabber. But we can't do jibber jabber this week. We got to run straight into it because we're going to cover everything. We're going to talk about Southern Baptist Convention. We're going to talk about critical race theory. I want to start off by talking about this real controversy. JR, you don't know anything about this, but we discussed this before you got here.
Okay.
Joseph Rojas, R-O-J-A-S, is that how you say
Rojas.
it? Rojas, who is the lead singer for the band Seventh Day Slumber, who I've talked about before. Love the band, love the guys, their
Heavy
ministry.
rock?
Huh?
Heavy rock.
Heavy rock. I love what the guys do. They're fantastic, and like I've said this before, they go out, they do free shows, take up a love offering, I guess, and being in music business, I understand how hard it is to tear down, set up, play, tear down, set up, and play. They just do that all the time. Great guys. So he posted a picture of Jesus hugging a gay person. All right? And the picture was Jesus hugging the gay person, and you could tell the person was gay because they had a rainbow in their hair, I guess, which is how they define themselves. And you could tell that the gay person's kind of apprehensive and hugging Jesus back, kind of shocked. And so he wrote this caption underneath, and it's been picked up by Charisma News and some other things, Christianity Today, because they got so much bad press from it. They actually had some shows canceled because people thought that they were promoting that lifestyle. Here's what he said. This picture is a powerful reminder of who God is, how God loves, and how none of us are out of his reach. You can come to him in your hurt. You can come to him in your pain. You can come to him in your sin. You can come to him in your brokenness. He loves you where you're at. He also loves you too much to leave you there. Be kind to one another. You never know what someone has been through. And he just caught a lot of grief from that. He got very defensive about it. I wanted to say offensive too, because he he didn't mince any words when he started going off on these people, because he was talking about, and he was right in the regard that we're so quick to condemn the gay lifestyle, but then, as we've talked about before, anger, dissension, gossip, all this other stuff.
We look
taking
past
place.
all that.
Right, we look past all that, and we just we really want to jump in on that. But I don't know, man. I don't know what I feel about it. First of all, I don't think Jesus was a hugger. We see Jesus always hugging people. I don't recall that anywhere in the Bible where he actually hugged people. But
embrace, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. He did one time with the little children, but I think it's pretty much the only time it talks about it. But I don't know if we're being intellectually honest with people when we say to them, come to Jesus just as you are, and when they get saved, we say, oh yeah, you have to change. And I think that's the problem. I think the message right here sounds fantastic. But when I read this message, and I understand he put it in there, he loves you too much to leave you there. I understand it. Mm-hmm. I know this dude, he's awesome, extremely conservative. We agree on basically everything. I understand what he's saying in that regard. But I think that it may give a mixed message to people, because we do that a lot. We're like, come to Jesus. Jesus loves you. Come to Jesus. And then they come up there and we're like, you need to change. Or the worst thing that we do is we let them continue to do what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And so the poor guy, he caught a lot of grief, and nobody should cancel his show because of this. I mean, that's I understand his heart. He has a passion for lost people. He was doing it because he was really trying to tell people, hey, Jesus does love you and all this stuff and all good stuff. He just kind of got read the wrong way. I don't know. What do you guys think? Good message? Bad message? What?
I don't know. I think it's a little merciful, maybe.
Oh!
The most merciful
one.
Recognize that, by the way. I'm just pointing that out.
I don't know. The idea of Jesus hugging somebody that is living a lifestyle like that, I don't believe that would happen.
All right, I agree with that.
Right. So that without that little blurb underneath the image, I would have been offended by it.
Really?
Yeah, I would have been like, no, we really shouldn't be portraying something that the Bible doesn't teach. Right? You never, even though Christ came up on people living ways they shouldn't have, he never said, we'll hug it out and everything's going to be okay.
Right, exactly.
He said, stop it.
Yeah, change your ways.
Turn around, go the other way. He didn't say, let's hug it out. That's not the type of love that Jesus showed. That's how we are expected to show it, but that's not the way Jesus loved.
Yeah, I like I said, and if he comes across this, please don't go off on us.
He really does like you a lot.
I do, man. You're in my top 10 albums of all time.
That's true.
Right.
I think, starting with John the Baptist, the message was always repent. Mm-hmm. And we come to Jesus repenting of our sins.
Well, yeah, we say, come to Jesus no matter what you've done, who you are, or whatever. And it's almost like no one mentions the repentance part. Yeah. It's kind of like an after the fact thing. Like, oh, by the way,
right
now that you're here, now I think that I'm like you. That's not honest with people. You need to be upfront about it.
Well, I was doing a little bit of studying on this. Just the idea of salvation and that word and its definition is used far more than the requirement of repentance in the New Testament.
But if somebody comes to Jesus just because they want a better life, they're not saved?
No, I mean the idea of just come to Jesus and it's just like that sign when we were doing that sign episode. Mm-hmm. It's like he was like just follow me and we'll sort all that out later. No,
it's not how that works.
And it's kind of what that implies there. Yeah, yes, you're living a lifestyle. I won't even say what kind of lifestyle. That's unacceptable. But just come to Jesus anyway, and then we'll work all that out. It's just not. That's not the message of salvation. That's not how repentance works, and it's not something you're in and out of or you're working on.
People need to come to Jesus because they're going to hell, and He has made a way for them not to.
Yeah,
just like we were talking about earlier. It's the hellfire and brimstone messages.
It is.
Really used to rock people's world.
And nobody likes those, but that's the message. Jesus was hellfire and brimstone. Mm-hmm. Yes, He showed love toward a lot of people, absolutely, and you can be loving and do that. But I think the most loving thing you can do is warn somebody about the reality of hell.
Yeah, and in a situation like that, hugging somebody that's living a lifestyle that's unacceptable, right? The Bible's clear about what happens to people in that lifestyle.
Right.
Hugging somebody is not loving them very well, because you're just saying everything's okay, and when D-Day comes, when judgment comes,
Yeah.
they're going to be mad at you that you didn't tell them the truth. They're going to say, he said it was all right, man. I was getting by. I was working on my sanctification, but that's not how it works.
I think it's socially acceptable for Jesus to love gay people. When I look at the picture, okay, say you have somebody that is who's a lost person who has come into the church to spread dissension within the church. Jesus going to hug that person?
Nope.
No. No, not at all.
We have
made
going to hug somebody that wrecks a marriage? No, I mean it's the same thing. It's,
right. Yeah. I'm going to come into this church and I'm going to destroy it.
yeah.
And Jesus is going to come over. Hey, come on, let's just hug this out. He's going to get your butt out of here. That's that. And so I think with that lifestyle, that it's and it just seems like it's only that lifestyle that we have just kind of made it like, hey, you know what? Just come to Jesus anyway.
And I don't think we made it that way. It started with the unbelieving world saying, you Christians are supposed to be love, and they consider their lifestyle like the definition of love, right? Love sees no color or gender or whatever, and it's just like, nowhere does it say we were supposed to do that. That's just something you started expecting of us.
Jesus is hugging the person and he's smiling, and it's just like, okay, what if the guy's a slave owner? Is Jesus going to be hugging him and smiling?
Yeah.
No.
Oh boy.
What if he's
everywhere there?
What if the dude's a racist? Is Jesus going to be hugging him and smiling? What if the person is embezzling people out of their old people out of their money? Is Jesus going to hug them and smile? It just seems like it's just that lifestyle.
Yep.
And maybe we're misreading this, which I don't think we are. But it because we never do.
Well, it's just like I think maybe he meant something different by sharing that picture based on his little blurb.
Yeah, I think
the picture in itself was problematic for me.
Kind of, like I said, I had no problem with it.
I have no problem with what he said.
No problem with what he said at all.
No, not at all. But I think there's got to be more to the message.
Yeah.
And
I know. I get what the guy was trying to do, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, he has a heart for lost people. He's out there every night, basically doing gigs for free.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's got a
trying
heart,
to spread the gospel.
They got a heart. They
do.
So
he's got that heart that, well, us two don't have. Mr. Merciful might have a little
He might have that, right.
But, I mean...
I don't have that evangelism heart. Do all Christian musicians have evangelism?
No.
What are they out there doing that for, then?
Money.
Money and fame.
The almighty dollar. Why do you think they copy everybody else's songs?
Yeah.
Has any Christian artist had an original song in the last 20 years?
Oh, there's a few.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me... you knew... Oh, that's dirty.
Oh. Now, I'm not talking about the rock bands and stuff. I'm talking about Hillsong and all these other...
Well, because like in
praise and worship bands.
In rock music, like Van Halen will put out a song, and then 25, 30 years later, somebody will redo the song. In Christianity,
it's like
somebody will put out a song. Yeah, in 1 week, 35 people have copied it and then sell it. They sell it!
There's 2 country songs that I have heard on K-Love sung by a Christian artist of some sort, and one of them was it was a Florida Georgia Line song, You Are Holy.
Yeah.
That song is not a Christian song.
No.
You Are Holy. He's not talking about God. He's talking about his girlfriend or his woman. That's what he's talking about in that song. And they remade it on K-Love and are singing it. It's like they have no clue what's going on.
Oh, that makes me crazy.
They have no... I love that song. I love Florida Georgia
that makes
Line.
me crazy. Why don't you bring that up?
I know, because I love it. I love it.
I can't stand
I love it. I know.
Gosh.
Oh, gosh, I call it gay love for a reason. I mean,
you turn on in the morning and they're like, Good morning! Good morning! It's like, shut up!
Every time I turn that
by the way, send us money.
Every time I turn that station on, they're doing some SOS fundraiser.
Yeah. I know they are. You know, stop playing crappy music. Maybe we'll give you some money.
That's right.
I'm serious. It's like elevator music. It's just, why can't we have a Christian hard rock station? And those guys,
that would be
props to those guys, man, because they go out and they do their own stuff. They write their own songs. They do that stuff.
Well, the problem with worship music getting used up like that is there's only just a few people that are writing these worship songs.
Yeah,
Bands are not coming up with their own material anymore.
Kind of like country. Hardy writes like 90% of all country songs.
He does. Hardy does everything. In Christian worship, you only have to write one good song and you're set for life.
Yeah, because there's 18 bands going to cover it.
They're going to cover it and they have to pay you royalties for it.
Especially if you mention water in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it John Chris that did that?
Yeah. More songs about water.
Yeah, more songs about water. There's something about water, man. It just makes us all teary-eyed. I don't know what it is. So I don't know. I like this dude. And like I said, I know his heart. So keep doing what you're doing, man. I support you. I understand where you're coming from, and don't let the haters get you down, because that's what they always. They don't have any life. That's what they.
Haters gotta hate.
Haters gonna hate. Story we're gonna cover next week, maybe. You know how we are. We talk about we're gonna do a story, but we never do it. But Revolver News has come out with this big thing about how they wonder if there was actually FBI agents embedded in the insurrection that took place.
Oh, you've not been paying very close attention to the news today, have you?
What happened?
Granted, this is TikTok, so it is,
So much
maybe
for next week.
it could be true, but I'm pretty sure someone's come forward. Somebody in the military has come forward and said they've tried to hire me.
Oh, I saw that, the Green Beret.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 3 groups: the 3 Percenters, the Oath Keepers, and the Proud Boys. And the thing is, Revolver said, when they did that little plot to kidnap the governor of Michigan, Whitmer, and they had these guys, the 3 Percenters, who were going to do it, the van that actually was going to go and do the job, out of the 5 guys in the van, 3 of them were informants and an FBI. Okay, so they stopped the plot. All right, so Revolver News, look it up. It's really a good article. It's basically, okay, so those guys stopped what was happening in Michigan. If these guys had infiltrated all these groups, why didn't they stop? I can tell you why they didn't stop, folks. Because they wanted it to happen.
They wanted media attention.
Right. And I think those guys egged it on. I think they did. And then they got pictures of Antifa pouring through the windows and all this. Oh, gosh, we were so set up.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I'll talk about it later.
Woosah.
So the SBC is having their convention. I know we'll file that under who cares, but it is a big deal for us because we're former Southern Baptists. We got the creds, man. We do. I'm a graduate from the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary, the first class under Al Mohler and the conservative resurgence, and we fought the battle, man. So they're all meeting together, and they've come up with a lot of great stuff. And I said this before: if you're Southern Baptist, get out.
Run.
Yeah, run away. Find you another church to go to, because it's drifting. You think, well, my church is teaching the truth. That's fine, but you're still supporting these people. You're supporting everything that's going on. You're supporting, stupid Russell Moore and Big Fat Ed Stetzer and all those guys. That's who you're supporting.
And all your church.
All your tithes, all your funds
right
going to a cooperative
SBC.
program, so that these guys can make $1 million a year. You're supporting this stuff.
I know there's a lot of people unhappy about yesterday.
Well, they elected a moderate president who doesn't think critical race theory is a big deal. They wanted to rescind the resolution that condemned critical race theory. They kind of did condemn it, but it was kind of lukewarm.
The words critical race or theory weren't in what they approved.
You know that thing that we always talk about.
That the
thing. And I was part of the Southern Baptist Convention for 19 years. And in 2007, I got out when I wanted to plant a church, and they said, "You have to take a test." And I said, "I don't have to take a test. God told me to plant a church."
Yeah.
Kiss my butt. And so we went. We got back in. I don't want to force it. We got back in. I don't know what year. We actually got back into it. And I went to the...
that was like, what, 14 or 15?
Yeah, something like that. We actually were entertaining getting back into Southern Baptist Convention because I wanted to network with other churches, which basically means I wanted to steal their people. And that's what networking means. And so I go up there, and I go to the campus ministry at the college nearby. And I said, they went in their meeting. I said, hey, I talked to the dude, and I was like, this dude is a pastor of a SBC local church. SB Cheese. He always introduces himself as doctor.
Oh.
Yeah, nice. Dr. So-and-so. And it's like, dude, you need to grow up. And you know who I'm talking about. You don't watch this. But he wouldn't let me talk.
What?
And so I talked to one of the associational guys, the guy who was head of over the associational guy here. And I said, if I had been pastor of a 10,000 member church, would they let me talk? He said, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's about money. It's about money. The big churches in the Southern Baptist Convention control everything because they're all about the cooperative program and getting money. And so that was just kind of the thing with us. They don't like, you think they like small churches. They don't. They like big churches. And so, but I saw where it was headed way back then. So they had a resolution number 9 that they did in Birmingham last year, I guess. And then they had a vote to rescind resolution number 9 that was critical of critical race theory.
So the dumb question, who votes on this?
The delegates. Each church gets to send a number of delegates based on their size.
Oh,
that
makes
makes
sense.
all the decisions? The big churches.
But you know what they call themselves?
What?
Messengers.
Messengers.
Ooh, I like that.
15,000.
Hey, I got a message for you. Suck it!
15,000 messengers voted on this.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, 15,000 people voted on this.
And they did. And the guy, the moderate, won by 2%.
It was 52 to 48, so 4%. But yeah.
What's so funny is Al Mohler, who's like the grand poopah pope of the Southern Baptist Convention, came in last. I think that's hilarious. Suck it, Al. You're no longer relevant, buddy.
You're out.
You're out.
I don't even know you. I don't like you.
If you knew him, you wouldn't like him either. Yeah. But they made a motion to rescind that resolution, and it was met with loud applause because everybody's woke.
Yeah.
They're so woke.
They're so woke. The resolution, I copied it out here. The resolution affirms limited beneficial aspects of critical race theory. That was the one they did in Birmingham. And everybody was like, let's get rid of that because we want to fully embrace critical race theory because we're dumb. I don't know. And then the beloved J.D. Greer gave a message. We all love him here because he's so easy to make fun of.
Well, when I read the quote from this message, I was proud. I just didn't understand why they didn't hold up for the last 3 years.
What did he say? You have that quote right there in front of you?
I do.
Oh, he's going to look for it.
I have it right here.
Oh.
Whenever the church gets in bed with politics, the church gets pregnant. And our offspring does not look like our Father in heaven.
Does that apply for liberals too?
But J.D. Greer spent 3 years doing the opposite of that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just now that he's on his way out, he's saying, you guys suck.
Yeah, it's like, don't do what I did.
Every issue today is a religious issue.
Political issues are religious, or what are you saying there?
I mean, every political issue is a religious issue. Abortion is a religious issue. Gay rights is a religious issue. Illegal immigration is a religious issue because it's a violation of the law. It's law breaking. So in a sense, it's a religious issue. The Bible says those who do not work do not eat. And so it's kind of, so to say, and I posted that on Facebook, it's just like, stay out of politics. Leave that for us. Leave that for Russell Moore, and leave that. Russell Moore's a never Trumper. Very proud of it, by the way. And so it's okay for them to get involved in politics, but you lay people, we
don't understand. Yeah, we don't understand.
You don't understand all the workings that are going on. Let us handle it because we're smarter.
Well, my pockets aren't getting lined. That's why I don't understand.
Yeah.
Part of me makes just wonders, do their pockets get lined?
I have a quote from him too.
Certain people.
Oh, what else did he say?
It looks like an SBC, he was talking about the SBC or something like that, that spends more lamenting, decrying things like CRT than they have done lamenting the devastating consequences of the years of racial bigotry and racial discrimination. We just can't apologize enough as Southern Baptists.
Don't they apologize every year?
They apologize every year. They pass another resolution condemning slavery. That's like, you actually have a black person coming out saying you don't have to apologize anymore. We get it.
If they condemned it once, shouldn't that be enough?
I think the onus is on the black churches now to forgive. And the black churches are we're going to leave. Okay, then leave.
Did Greer jump on the I'm a white pastor, so I'm part of the problem bandwagon?
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if your pastor's a racist, get rid of him. That's what I do.
Well, I mean, it sounded like a lot of what they discussed this weekend was problems with pastors. They spent the 3 topics they wanted to talk about this week were critical race theory and how they didn't talk about it.
Sexual abuse
within the church. That was overwhelming their topic.
Yeah. And
sexual abuse
you said 3.
From clergy to congregation. I think that's what they were targeted on, wasn't it?
Right.
What?
And then the third one was the idea of women's role in the church. And how we are drifting more towards what Saddleback did this year.
Yeah, somebody made a motion to remove Saddleback. I don't know if it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, if it got voted on. They're scared to vote on it. I mean, folks, and listen, I never owned slaves. My parents didn't own slaves. My grandparents, my great grandparents did not own slaves. I'm not apologizing for Jack.
I only
No,
heard about
I didn't do
slaves
anything
because of
wrong.
history
I'm not,
books.
man.
Yeah.
I'm not. We're the only ones that have to apologize. Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously.
I think the Germans should keep apologizing.
The Japanese
The Jews.
killed 6 million Chinese people in the war. They have to apologize for it every year?
No?
No. The Nazis? Does Germany have to apologize to Israel every year
No.
for this stuff? We're the ones that have to keep apologizing. We didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You're blaming. You got an 8-year-old kid who has to go through life feeling guilty for something he never did. He was not even a part of it.
But if critical race theory is true, then you are doing something without knowing about it. You're unwillingly already racist.
So, if I didn't know what critical race theory was, explain it to me in layman's terms.
Oh, wow! Thanks for asking, Mike.
You're welcome.
That was a great segue. Hey,
Pointing at the segues again.
That's right. Don't ever.
And how smooth we are.
That's what
doing
JR tells me. Don't ever mention the segue.
it. You just ruined
Yeah.
it.
Hey, would racism exist if it wasn't a word?
Oh.
If you didn't know that racism was out there, would it exist?
Not racism, no, because we all know there's only one race. We've
There's
talked
only one
about that
race,
a few
right.
times. But prejudice,
Prejudice exists.
Yeah,
Bias
prejudice
exists.
exists.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just think it's stupid. All right, thanks for asking, Mike. And here's the long, boring section, folks. But we've got to do this. We've got to talk about critical race theory because it's in your kid's school system.
yes, it is.
It's in all aspects of politics, and it's coming to a church near you. And your pastor maybe has embraced this already. Your school teachers maybe have embraced this already. But I need to do a long, exhaustive history because I'm a teacher, and I feel bad if I feel like you haven't learned anything. But our response always in the church is respond to something after it's already entrenched.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're like, we can't do anything because it's already in there.
And that's exactly what happened with the sexual abuse within the church. It's been running rampant. Now we're finally trying to do something about it instead of fixing the problem at the beginning.
Yeah.
But maybe we should screen who we let be pastors.
Well, no, all you have to do is have a degree
That's what I'm saying.
and then have the deacons like you, and that's all you have to do. I'm serious. I mean, they go through, I've done it before. It's not a huge vetting. I don't think they did a background check on me at all.
I've been background checked for the church.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, you have a shady kind of look.
I think it was to work with. I think it was to work in the kids program.
He's too merciful. They didn't want
I
him
know
in
it. It's like you didn't wear your Chinese pimp hat, did you, when you went there?
My driving act.
there.
Chinese pimp hat.
That's a great term.
It is, man.
I'm not sure I understand it, but go ahead.
Well,
Chinese
first,
pimp,
you're not supposed to understand it. I've never
right,
seen
go.
a Chinese pimp, but if I did, he would wear that hat. All right, so I'm reading this article from a guy from the New York Post. His name is Chris Rufo, R-U-F-O. I know I'm mispronouncing that, but I'm just going to kind of read what he said because he did an excellent summary of critical race theory. And so just bear with us, but listen to this because it's going to help you. All right? This is our public service to you. We do this because we love you. But I know it's just like a sermon. You know how you get in a sermon and you're preaching and you're just like, I'm losing them.
They're dropping.
I know page 2 of this is going to be, Cameron's going to be in the corner.
You throw out a question and nobody attempts to answer. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is what's taken over America. And we're just like, if it doesn't directly bother me.
Yeah, it's not an issue.
Yeah, it's not an issue. Mm-hmm. Right. And so, like, all right, I'm just going to read this. Originally, the Marxist left built its political program on the theory of class conflict. Karl Marx, everybody's heard of him. Nobody knows what Marxism is, but I'm going to explain it to you. Believed that the primary characteristic of industrial societies was the imbalance of power between capitalists and workers. The solution to that imbalance, according to Marx, was revolution.
Okay.
All right, we're going to fight. That's what we see. The workers would eventually gain consciousness of their plight, seize the means of production, overthrow the capitalist class, and usher in a new socialist society.
Yeah, let's let the government take control.
Well, folks, does this sound fairly familiar to you? What do you think Antifa's doing?
Oddly suspicious.
Yeah. Wake up and smell the burning buildings. During the 20th century, a number of regime changes, regimes underwent Marxist-style revolutions, and each ended in disaster. Socialist governments in the Soviet Union, China, Cambodia, Cuba, and elsewhere racked up a body count of nearly 100 million people. Yeah, give me more of that. Yeah, are you sure the Bushes weren't involved too? Yeah. And you want these guys who send us all those boys to wars that they didn't need to go to.
There's a special section in hell for them too.
Yes. But rather than abandon their political project, Marxist scholars in the West simply adapted their revolutionary theory to the social and racial unrest of the 1960s. Fortunately, the early proponents of the revolutionary coalition in the U.S. lost out in 1960 to the civil rights movement. So you had like the Black Panthers, you had Malcolm X, and those people who were trying to cause problems. And then you had Martin Luther King on that side, who was basically believed in the opportunities that America offered, and that people could get there by working hard, and everything would be available for them, which was totally against Marxism. Marxism is like, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Kill all the people who have money. Take their money and then redistribute that money, which what happens in 10 years, you're going to have people who have money again, and you're going to have to start all over. So that's why they're just fighting all the time. And that's what Antifa is. That's a Marxist wing. They're like, we're anti-fascist. By the way, did you see that ad where they equated Antifa with the guys who stormed the beach in Normandy?
I threw up in my mouth while I saw it. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh boy.
That was CNN, was it not?
This is why I don't watch
I
TV
saw
with a
it on
shotgun
CNN.
next to me.
Yeah, I saw it on CNN. I don't know if that's
Yeah. No, that's not them.
No, that's
Antifa is the brown shirts running around rounding up the Jews. That's what Antifa is. Critical race theorists, masters of language construction, realized that neo-Marxism, hey, let's do a new kind of Marxism here where we don't kill as many people, would be a hard sell. Equity, on the other hand, sounds non-threatening. Equity. Yeah. And
not equality.
And is easily confused with the American principle of equality. But the distinction is vast and important. Indeed, critical race theorists explicitly reject equality. We don't want equality, we want equity. There's a difference. In contrast to equality, equity as defined and promoted by critical race theorists is little more than reformulated Marxism. All right, you guys still with me? Okay, Cameron's
asleep. But go ahead.
Well, he likes this stuff because he's a liberal, and
he already knows it though.
He's already thinking about how he can overthrow us because we're the capitalists and he's the worker.
Yeah.
In the name of equity, UCLA law professor and critical race theorist and overall general nut Cheryl Harris has proposed suspending. Well, this is what they want. This is what CRT wants. Listen, kids.
And
suspending private property rights,
Yeah.
seizing land and wealth, and redistributing them among racial lines.
What?
Come and take your property. Because you got that property because you're a white supremacist.
You need to share.
In the words of old Charleston Heston,
from my
you
cold
can
dead
have it
hands.
when you pry from my cold dead fingers.
Critical race guru Ibram X. Kendi. You remember him? No. Our stupid church signs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
The guy who said you just can't be non-racist, you had to be anti-racist.
Yeah.
He directs the Center for Anti-Racist Research at Boston University, which is located in a broom closet down at the very bottom of the building, has proposed the creation of a federal department of anti-racism. All right. Coming soon to you. Remember Biden, if you check your news and look at it last week, Biden is already coming out with something where you can actually report your neighbors, report your family members if you think they're domestic terrorists.
Is that Antira?
I don't know what it is. This department would be independent of, unaccountable to, the elected branches of government and would have the power to nullify, veto, or abolish any law at any level of government and curtail the speech of political leaders and others deemed insufficiently anti-racist, i.e., the Gospel Broalition. It's us.
Oh.
To nullify any law.
Mm-hmm. Any
law. Any law in the Constitution, we're just going to nullify it because it's,
Because it's racist.
An equity-based form of government would mean the end not only of private property, but also of individual rights, equality under the law, federalism, and freedom of speech. These would be replaced by race-based redistribution of wealth, group-based rights, active discrimination, and omnipotent bureaucratic authority. Struggle with that, but you know what I mean. All right, we still hold on.
I want to say not nice things, but go ahead.
Well, go ahead and say not nice things. I don't care.
No, there's too many. I don't have enough time.
Historically, the accusation of anti-Americanism has been overused, but in this case, it's not a matter of interpretation. It's anti-America. Critical race theory prescribes a revolutionary program that would overturn the principles of the Declaration and destroy the remaining structure of the Constitution. That's what they want to do. So when they're teaching your kids all this stuff, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to overthrow every system that we have within this government. They're trying to overthrow the Constitution, trying to overthrow the Bill of Rights, because it's Marxist. Because they've moved from, you have the oppressors and the oppressed, and that's what it is. And their goal is to reverse that.
Yeah. So they're not really getting rid of any oppression.
Right.
They're just flipping the table.
And this is not all black people. No, it's a very small percentage of these people. But this very small percentage of these people who are doing it are embedded in our government, embedded in our educational system, and they're embedded in our political system, and all that. They're embedded in there, and they're teaching your kids this crap. And a lot of parents are starting to stand up now. You're starting to see this grassroots kind of thing where they're starting to stand up and say, "You're not going to teach my kids this garbage." The problem is when they go to these school boards, you're not going to teach my kid critical race theory, but they can't define it. So This is why we're kind of doing this today. Hang in there. What does critical race theory look like in practice? The Department of Homeland Security was telling white employees that they were committing micro inequities and had been socialized into oppressor roles.
I think Tom McDonald read this before you
I think it did too.
Wrap that last song we did last week.
The Treasury Department held a training session telling staff members that virtually all white people contribute to racism.
All white people.
All white people.
I contribute to racism.
Yeah, I do. I just gave $100 yesterday.
Even though I'm technically like half Mexican. So what?
Yeah, that's right. We got a black person. We got it.
Am I racist against myself?
I don't know. I apparently.
Crap.
All white people.
Treasury Department training session telling staff members virtually all white people contribute to racism and that they must convert everyone in the federal government to the ideology of anti-racism. It's not good enough for you not to be a racist. You have to be anti-racist.
Anti-racist, yeah.
Right. Which basically is a license to go out and kill anybody that you think is racist. That's what they mean by anti-racist. And the Sandia National Laboratories, which designed America's nuclear arsenal, sent white male executives to a 3-day re-education camp where they were told that white male culture was synonymous to the KKK.
They got sent to a re-education camp. And this isn't a red flag for anyone else.
Yeah. Indoctrination, brainwash, that's re-education.
Yeah, that white male culture, KKK, white supremacists, and mass killings.
Oh, mass killings.
Yeah.
As in, just all of them are racist.
We perpetuate all the mass killings.
Okay. Well,
that's what Tom McDonald said last week. It's white Christian men. We get blamed for everything. We're the ones killing everybody. The executives were then forced to renounce their white male privilege and to write letters of apology to fictionist women and people of color.
Well, I'd like to meet these men.
Yeah, dear oppressed black person, suck it. What was this notion that that white people are the only ones can be racist?
Yeah. Well, racism's only ever applied to white.
Yeah. It is. I mean, there's some people who are in Christian circles who think that whiteness is a sin that you must repent of.
Do we ever call people from Asia racist?
No.
Do we ever call...
No, matter of fact, we're racist against Asian people.
The way that's worded, do we ever call people of color racist?
No, we're racist against colored people.
Can they be racist? Yeah. I know Latinos, man, can't stand
They can be prejudiced.
A black person can be racist if they voted for Donald Trump.
That's right.
Oh, that's right.
Said.
If you vote for Donald Trump, you're racist.
And Uncle Tom.
Well, that was part of his campaign.
And you ain't black unless you vote for Joe Biden.
Yeah, Biden said if you vote for Trump, you ain't
How
black.
was that not a racist statement?
How's that not racist?
Yeah. Oh my! You ever heard Joe Biden talk? He talks like black people like they,
like they're his homies.
Like they're an alien from the planet Uranus. I mean, it's just like, We have to put Uranus in every episode.
Yeah, that's a fun word.
Because we care about Uranus. In Cupertino, California, an elementary school forced first graders to deconstruct their racial and sexual identities and rank themselves according to their power and privilege.
If they did that to my child...
I'm number one because I'm white male.
Yeah, if they did that to my child, there'd be an issue.
In Springfield, Missouri, not that far away, a middle school forced teachers to locate themselves on an oppression matrix. Oh, the Matrix.
The Matrix.
I feel like I'm in the Matrix sometimes. Based on the idea that straight, white, English-speaking Christian males are members of the oppressor class and must atone for their privilege and convert white supremacy. And covert white supremacy.
Oh, so we're covert.
No, we're not covert. We're totally out there.
Oh, okay.
We let her... Oh, my gosh. Call me a white supremacist. I don't care. You're a pedophile.
It's the same shenanigans either way.
Well, it is. It's like...
Yeah.
You find yourself having to kind of like you're sitting there going, I'm not a racist. Oh, yes, you are. And it's like, I'm not. I have black friends. It's like, you're a racist. And so they keep telling you had to become defensive about something that you're not even doing.
Yeah.
Oh my! I'd like to get the Hodge twins in here. I bet they'd be hilarious about this.
Oh, they would. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, those guys.
They
are
must
great.
be getting filtered. I ain't seen them in a little bit.
Oh yeah, huh?
I ain't seen them in a little bit. They must be getting
Yeah, they're too rich. Now.
shadow filtered.
I'm sure they are.
They were on Candace the other day.
Okay.
I watched it. It was really good.
Oh, she's awesome too. But
In Philadelphia, an elementary school forced fifth graders to celebrate black communism.
what?
Oh, I'm sorry, communionism. That was a Freudian slip, by the way.
Honest mistake.
And simulate a Black Power rally to free 1960s radical Angela Davis from prison.
What?
This is why your kids are stupid.
Is this real stuff?
Yeah. Where she had once been held on charges of murder. Yeah, she killed a cop, I think. And now she's serving in the Biden administration.
Oh, surprise.
Yeah. And in Seattle, the school district told white teachers that they are guilty of spirit murder.
Spirit murder.
I know a lot of Christians like it who has murdered my spirit over the years. Spirit murder against black children and must bankrupt their privilege in acknowledgement of their thieved inheritance. Everything you have is because you stole it.
I did?
Mm-hmm.
Thieved.
So when I went to work to make money to buy stuff, I stole.
Yes, you did.
I stole all that time I worked.
Yeah, because you're privileged enough to work, Mike.
Obviously, I'm not that good of a thief because I don't have that much. So,
this sucks.
so I guess Bill Gates is really good.
Bill Gates is like the most excellent thief.
Yeah.
Somehow he's not white.
He's black.
Somebody explain to me how could somebody can go and be in politics for 40 years, get a salary of $100,000 and be worth $23 gazillion
Yeah.
after 40 years.
Yeah.
We're going to name names, President Biden.
Wow. You gave him the official title. I was surprised.
He did.
When I say that critical race theory is becoming the operating ideology of our public institutions, I'm not exaggerating. That's this dude talking. From the universities to bureaucracies to K-12 school systems, critical race theory has permeated the collective intelligence decision-making process of American government with no sign of slowing down.
It's part of the reason
Everything comes from when they look at it, they perceive that everything, like we talked about last week, every institution, every facet of America has this underlying ideal of racism. And so everything has to be destroyed and
So the
redone.
NBA is racist.
Yes.
Even though 70%
Yeah, it's racist.
of the players are black.
Because the owners are white.
Nice. I didn't see that coming.
But see, now you can't say anything against critical race theory. And this guy gives some reason why, and they're really good reasons. First, too many Americans have developed an acute fear of speaking up about social and political issues, especially those involving race.
Yep.
Don't want to talk about it. Scared to talk about it. According to a recent Gallup poll, 77% of conservatives are afraid to share their political beliefs publicly.
We're not.
We're not. Yeah.
Suck it. We don't
Suck
care.
it. We're part of the 23%.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, 23%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice math on the move. I like
That
it.
was.
was-
I did math during the history of the Baptist. Worried about getting mobbed on social media, fired from their jobs or worse.
I like getting mobbed on social media.
They remain quiet, largely ceding the public debate to those pushing these anti-American ideologies, that's what we do. We're gutless, man.
Yeah.
We are.
We're not the anti-American ones. Goodness sakes.
But what happens is that you'll go in your pastor's office and you'll confront him about something, but somebody who's actually trying to destroy the country, you won't say anything to them because you're afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Conservatives in both the federal government and public school systems have told me that their equity and inclusion... Sorry, I'm changing pages here. Go ahead and talk among yourself.
Slight pause. That's sure
Pages
not.
you got there?
I know.
This is
Good
awkward.
grief. Hey.
2 more pages.
2 more pages. Hold on. We're almost
We're
there.
almost there.
They're
Calm
going,
down.
Lee, I understand what history of the Baptist felt like.
Something like that.
All right, forget that. It was a stupid chapter. All right, paragraph. Thank you. Second, critical race theorists have constructed their arguments like a mousetrap. Disagreement with their programs becomes irrefutable evidence of a dissenter's white fragility, unconscious bias, or internalized white supremacy. So if you disagree with them, you're racist.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it. So I'm a racist no matter what.
If
I
that's
agree,
it. Mike gets it.
nor I disagree, I'm
gets it.
still a racist.
You have been converted.
You don't get to disagree. That's the thing.
I'm just a racist, period.
Just the fact that you want to disagree means you're a racist.
You now
wow,
understand.
I never knew I was so racist.
You now understand CRT.
I am the most racist person
You
ever.
got it,
apparently.
Mike. Now you have it.
Oh my gosh.
You're a racist. Just accept
I'm a
it.
racist. Terrible.
One more has been converted. My work here is done. Diversity trainers will make an outrageous claim, such as all whites are intrinsically oppressors, or white teachers are guilty of spirit murdering black children, and then, when confronted with disagreement, adopt a patronizing tone and explain that participants who feel defensiveness or anger are reaching out of guilt and are reacting out of guilt and shame.
No, I'm reacting out of being accused of something I didn't do.
Right.
Again, all whites.
All whites. No. Now, see, we have to be careful because when we talk about this stuff, and it's true, it's not all black people who feel this way.
Joe Biden must be racist then. He's white. He's the whitest person I've ever seen.
No, if you're liberal, you're not racist.
Oh, crap.
Did you
So
see,
Cameron's not
Jon
racist.
Stewart's video? He used to do the Daily Show.
Jon
I
Stewart.
saw something about it. I didn't watch it.
Well, he comes out and he, I don't know if he was serious or not, but he came out and said that the virus came from the Wuhan lab. But he was on Stephen Colbert's show.
Yeah. Oh.
And Colbert, you can just tell, but just dying, man. He started laughing because Stewart was hilarious, but it was just like...
By the way, Stewart was way better than Colbert ever thought of.
Oh, absolutely.
But,
absolutely. But they were sitting there and it was just like, what do we call this? Like the Wuhan something, something, something. And it's like, what's the name of the lab in China? The Wuhan something. It's like... we're just like, he came from a bat and stuff. And he was just making fun of it. Then he doubled down the next day and he came on there and he said, not all Trump supporters are racist. I've worked with first responders and people like that. They voted for Trump, but they'll run into a burning building to save people, irregardless of their color.
Yeah.
their color or their political views.
Yes, absolutely. And even Bill Maher makes sense every once in a while.
Bill Maher's been on a pretty good streak here lately. I think Bill Maher he's very much a liberal, but he's more of the old school liberal than...
What does that mean?
To
I
me,
agree with you, define it.
Old school liberal is more like...
He's not a woke liberal.
Maybe woke, but old school liberal is more like... I'll say after the Kennedy days and stuff like that, but kind of like, more of the libertarian view.
Yeah.
Left of the libertarian view by a little, not like completely the other side of the room on the wall left, but kind of left of center.
Liberals used to be for free speech.
Yes, and Maher is very much for free speech and for do what you want.
Right.
That's kind of his viewpoint on
Right.
things.
He may disagree with you for what you believe in and stuff like that, but he gives you have the right to believe that.
He said that on several occasions where I might not agree with you, but you have 100% right to say what you want to say.
That's
whether
a
right
liberal
or wrong.
position.
Yeah.
It is.
And how has that now become the conservative position?
It is, and people have talked about that, how it's kind of ironic how the roles have actually shifted because now we're the ones who are for free speech.
Yeah.
When it used to be a liberal position now, and he said that.
Yeah.
That how has this happened? And now the liberals are the ones doing the book burnings and the counseling of everybody and not wanting anybody to participate if they have a different view. Yeah. I don't know. Did I make this any clearer?
Yeah.
I know I'm racist now.
You touched on the you touched on the high points. Whites are racist.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So as long as you know that, I've taught you. Yeah. That's all you need to know.
All whites are racist.
Whether you know it or not.
And if you disagree with that, you're a racist.
That's right. And if you get mad about it, you're a racist.
Third, Americans across the political spectrum have failed to separate the premise of critical race theory from its conclusion. Its premise that American history includes slavery and other injustices, and that we should examine and learn from that history, is undeniable. But its revolutionary conclusion that America was founded on and defined by racism, and that our founding principles, our Constitution, and our way of life should be overthrown, does not rightly, much less necessarily, follow. Mm-hmm. So, but that's the understanding. The understanding that this whole country was founded on racism.
Well, I know, that was terrible with the South and the slaves, because only South did, North didn't do it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, North didn't have slaves, even though the slaves came in ports in the North. But
but what about the Indians? We trounced the Indians to take this land. I mean, we just come right in and just mowed them over. Yep. We took their weapons and everything and slaughtered them.
And then taught them how to run casinos.
Yeah, and we gave them here's 3 acres. Put a casino on. Yeah. That's all you get. Yeah. No one cares about the poor Indians.
They don't. They don't. If anybody's got a gripe, they got
a gripe. Anybody's got a gripe, the Indians have
They've got a legitimate gripe. And Critical race theorists must be confronted with and forced to speak to the facts. Do they support public schools separating first graders into groups of oppressors and oppressed?
So, in other words, black kids and white kids.
Well, I'm just.
That's what they're doing, right?
Yeah, if they're the oppressors,
if the only oppressors are white, they're segregating the school.
I know this has been brought up ad nauseum.
Does that not sound stupid?
Okay, so you can have a black college, but you can't have a white college.
Yes. You have black
colleges are not racist, but white colleges are racist.
You have a black entertainment channel.
Are you looking up that thing?
What thing?
Oh,
I have something to read when it comes to do something like this. Yeah.
What? Just something random?
It's not random.
Is it related to critical race theory?
Yes.
I'm teaching here.
It's created to white privilege.
Oh, okay.
After you're done.
Oh, so you can have black entertainment television, but if you had white entertainment television, that'd be racist.
You have Black History Month.
Yeah, if you had White History Month.
Okay, I'll say it now.
What?
I'll believe white privilege exists when America has all the following: white entertainment television. Mm-hmm.
We have CMT. Does that count?
No,
that's
not white only.
CMT is becoming liberal, man.
They are.
But they're owned by the same people who do MTV. So
yeah,
white only scholarships.
Well, that's racist.
White History Month.
Racist.
White Lives Matter.
Racist.
Oh.
White only clubs.
Racist.
That's what it takes for me to believe in white privilege.
Yeah. White. Yeah. Right.
So, but reading that, you're saying now that the black people have privilege.
Well, they have all these
because they have the History Month and all that.
When we have a black chamber of commerce, we have a Hispanic chamber of commerce, and then we have for the white people, it's just called the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, we don't get to use our adjectives.
No, we don't. Because just as soon as you thought we're the white chamber of commerce, it's like, oh my gosh, exactly. They're white supremacists. Yeah, but I think there's people, and like I said, look, it's a small group.
Yeah,
but
they're militant about what they believe.
But if a small group gets into Washington, you see what they've done all these past wars. They can do a whole lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And don't ever get us started on conspiracy theories.
We need to jump down to those rabbit holes.
Yeah, if you think we're nuts now. But what's funny is that it's interesting because I remember getting so mad about. I would hear these people talk about these things that happen along.
Oh yeah, we defended these people to the nth degree, and now we're looking back, going,
now we're looking back, and everybody. I mean, all my conservative friends are just kind of like,
we're idiots.
Yeah, I don't really think that happened that way.
Yeah, yeah.
And we got so mad at.
I to this day look back because Bush was the first president I could vote for, and I look back going, granted, there wasn't a better option. I don't think. I think either president would have done the exact same.
When you lose your home state, you're an idiot. You really are. I don't think woke is good enough anymore. It needs to be woke-tard.
Woke-tard.
Woke-tard?
Yeah. Do they support mandatory curricula teaching that all white people play a part in perpetuating systemic racism?
Systemic or systemic?
Systemic.
Okay.
Do they support public schools instructing white parents to become white traitors and advocate for white abolition? Abolition means getting rid of white. How are we going to get rid of white people?
It's gas chambers.
Be a lot of the population.
Hitler started doing it. I mean,
these dudes, man, folks, don't deceive yourself. These people would throw you in a gas chamber.
Oh yes, they would.
Faster than you can go to the fridge. Mm-hmm. I mean, seriously, they have. They have no qualms. Antifa has no qualms about doing that. Nothing. Do they want those who work in government to be required to undergo the kind of this re-education? They're trying to do that with the military.
Oh, yeah.
And how about managers and workers in corporate America? How about, what are they going to do? What about us? Are we going to have to go to re-education camps?
Yeah.
On trains?
On trains? Get in the cattle cars. It'll be nice. We'll have fun. We will show you the countryside. Or just walk into this building, take a shower. How many? What are we doing on minutes here?
Doesn't matter at this point, does it?
I
Can't see it. It's too far away.
Probably 107. No, 57.
Oh, 57. See?
Oh, good. See?
We made it.
I'm hyped up on energy drink.
We made it.
I know it was boring, but we need to educate people about this, and I understand. It's just one of these things. I know we're not going to get any views, but we're really not about views. We're about trying to educate people that you're all racist.
I found out I am, apparently, so.
Yep. Whether you liked it or not.
Whether I like it or agree with it.
I am a raging racist POS. That's what I am, man.
We should feel terrible about ourselves.
I don't, for some reason.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah,
It's kind of odd.
I don't either. I don't know. Somebody's got to make fun of these people.
I mean, I'm not racist, right? I don't look at people different color, but just being part of the American system, I'm racist according to that.
Okay, so now when you hear about what CRT is, how does it go against the Bible? Is it compatible with the biblical worldview?
No.
How?
Because Jesus loves everybody.
Well, you should listen to everybody.
Now I see why you're talking.
That's
about
our next episode. Does Jesus really love everybody?
Ooh, we talked about that today.
Yeah, we did talk about that. You don't want to know the answer. Go ahead.
We're going to get a lot of hate mail from that one.
But is it compatible with... Why are people freaking out about it in the churches? Why should you be freaking out about it in your church?
Biblically, I don't know.
Man, I think in all honesty, racist or prejudice against certain ethnicities was more violent and more prevalent in Bible times than it is
absolutely.
now. Mm-hmm. Right.
The Jews hated the Samaritans.
Yeah.
Hated them.
And the Jews were slaves for how long?
Yeah, 400 years. And the Egyptians. Which, by the way, the Egyptians need to apologize every
day.
Every day.
400 years?
Right.
There's a lot of apologizing.
They should give
Egypt a lot of oppression.
There's a lot.
Right. But the liberals aren't going to give Israel anything.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They stole all the land that they have anyway. Yeah. It's incompatible with Christianity because Christianity teaches you don't judge people by their past.
Yeah.
That's what dude just said. You don't judge people about the lead singer. You don't judge people by their past. You judge them based on the merits of who they are. That's where it's incompatible with Christianity. I'm not sinful because of what my forefathers did.
Yeah.
I'm not. And that's it's incompatible with Christianity. Because we take each person on their individual merit. Mm-hmm. And that person is judged on what they have done wrong. And if you want to believe that we live in a racist society, then move. Stop, like Tom McDonald said, stop inviting minorities here if you think it's a racist society, you woke tard. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
And, we want to invite people here because it's systemic racism runs through everything. And by the way, come into the country, but they're going to hate you when you get there. But, why would you want to invite them into this place if it's a cesspool of just racial disparity? But this is what they do. They don't make any sense. I think the biggest separation among conservatives, liberals, Democrats, Republicans, I think it's not ideology. I think it's common sense. We have common sense, and they don't. They just don't. That's why Tom McDonald, when he came out with that video last week where he's talking about snowflakes, it was just, he used common sense. And that's like kryptonite to liberals because they just can't handle that. But he just came out with common sense, and everybody's like, "Oh, that makes sense." Yes, it makes sense. It's called common sense. I mean, people treat it like it's a superpower or something, But it just makes sense that why would you want to invite somebody to this country if it's that bad?
What is that sort of that collective thinking? Think tank. What were you talking about several weeks ago?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Like a think tank.
I don't even know what I ate for lunch.
But that's why they are so adamant about bringing lower class minority people to this country, so there's more people that think like them.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
That is why two of our last 3 presidents have empowered and supported the lower class the entire time.
Yeah.
Who voted them back? Right? You create this dependency in people, and you pay them to stay at home. That's what we're doing now. That's why we have now hiring signs all over the place, right? Mm-hmm. We're paying them to stay home. You're creating a dependency on your government, but they want that handout still.
Oh, absolutely.
So we create more of that class, more of that need and that dependency, so that continues, and then they have more people that think like them.
And then what their hope is one day their plan is to one day they'll cut all that off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Better believe it.
And then these people will get ticked off.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll be like, well, then rise up against people. It's Marxism, folks. That's what it is. It used to be, it was different back in the Frankfurt School in the 1930s, but now this is what they're trying to do. And when you see this stuff that's taking place on the streets, it has nothing to do with black lives. Nothing. That's why you see all the white people there.
It's a political agenda.
It's about Marxism.
Mm-hmm.
It's about them rising up. Because you ever see the mugshots of these people?
Oh my gosh.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
It's like the circus.
It looks like a herpes commune. I mean, it is. Everyone, it looks like, those every time they show somebody like, here's a meth picture. They all look like meth heads.
Yeah.
They take these people, these easily impressionable people,
Mm-hmm.
they take them, they work them up to the ladder, they say you have to overthrow this stuff. That's why they attack businesses. But as Tom McDonald, once again, I keep talking about him, but as he pointed out, they do it while drinking Starbucks and talking on their phones.
And once every 4 years.
Every 4 years. Yeah. Black Lives Matter once every 4 years. Right. But this stuff that you're seeing right now, the continued riots and the things like that, when they took over that block in Seattle, that was Marxism. To them, that they're rising up against their oppressors.
I just wanted to drive down there over there so bad and just go check it out. Just be like, what's going on over here?
And I'm sitting there, and I sound horrible as a pastor saying this, but I'm just like, dude, I could just set up a sniper's nest way down at the other end.
Watch him. I think, God, there's one.
All you got to do is pop one in the head, and it's over, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, okay.
This isn't a good idea. We're out.
Yeah. Everybody go get the pot. Let's get out of here. That's what it was. By the way, if you ever want to laugh, look at the Seattle when they were sitting there trying to grow their own food. When they had to
Oh, yeah.
Guys literally out there sticking their fingers in the ground, putting a seed in, sitting there waiting for it. Where is it, man?
They dumped some soil just over the parking lot there, or that grassed area.
Yeah. They're so stupid. Gosh.
They had that one reporter that had moved in there to see what it was like or whatever, and had left their tent for whatever reason. And came back, and all their stuff is gone, and they're like, wait a minute. And the dude so there was apparently a guy that was there who had taken control and took a form of the police.
Yeah.
He went in, and he's the only one that had the guns and stuff, and he basically told them, well, that's just how it is. They needed it more than you did.
Socialism.
So all of a sudden, this woke liberal who decided to move in there was like, oh, wait a minute, this is terrible.
They don't like socialism when they actually see it in action.
We should have handled that completely different. We should have fenced it up and left them in there.
Yeah, we should just let them
see how long they lasted.
I'm sure we have some old napalm bombs left over from the Vietnam War.
Yeah,
just do it. Folks, you only have to do it one time.
They would have destroyed themselves.
Yeah, I don't think we had done nothing.
Don't let them out to get food or necessities. Yeah. Just let them rot in there.
Yeah,
they only last a few weeks.
It's back in the old days. You stole a horse, they hung you in the public square, and they'd be like, hey, Bob, you want to steal a horse? Look at that.
Yeah.
And that's all you had to do. Just one guy.
Yeah.
You just had to do it. But they're not doing it. Cops just stand by and just watch them.
Yeah, they can't do anything.
They can't do anything.
Yeah.
Those cops are just like,
they want to so bad.
Just let me go for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me get a room with him for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's right.
This little scrawny punk here. Yeah, but Antifa's just an ideal anyway. I don't know why we talk about them.
Yeah,
they don't really exist.
Oh, I forgot they don't exist.
Yeah, but the Proud Boys, they exist. That's that's
a racist movement with black leaders.
I know. Common sense. Kill all the white people. The Black Klansmen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've said enough. We go over an hour. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
Just barely.
I feel like we didn't talk about anything, though.
We just talked about critical race theory and
I know.
SBC 21.
And I know it was boring, but it's something. It's just like the history of the Baptists. You have to know this stuff. And
Well, you know what? One thing you learn from this is we tried to define, or you tried to define what critical race theory is. And if you followed anybody that's watching the Southern Baptist Convention this week, you now see what you're headed towards when they will not do away with it.
how can you go into your church when your pastor sits there and looks at you and thinks you're all racist?
Yeah.
And basically, so what
Or
happens
thinks himself racist. Yeah.
Yeah, and because you're racist, now you have to make concessions to people. And look, man, our church is always, any African American brothers or sisters who want to come, you're more than welcome to come. It's just that we don't go to church together. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
I mean, and part of it is not we hate each other. Is part of it is we do church differently.
Oh, black churches are awesome though.
Yeah, they're
I've been to
awesome.
a couple of black churches.
They're fantastic,
and they are full of energy and just.
But the way that we do church is different, and many times our theology is different.
Mm-hmm.
It just is, and that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're always about. What happens is when you want reconciliation, when you want everybody to get along, somebody has to compromise something. Somebody. And when you have two sides that don't want to compromise, there's nothing you can do. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Let it happen. But, if you have a racist pastor, if you go to a racist church, if you go to Southern Baptist Church, you're racist, leave it. We're not racist. Come to our church.
There you go.
Yeah. Maybe we should start advertising ourselves.
Yeah, we're not racist.
The only non-racist church in America.
I'll change the sign this week.
Yeah. I identify as non-racist.
There you go.
We identify, yeah.
Yeah.
We identify as non-racist. Oh, wait a minute. We got to be anti-racist.
Yeah, we're anti-racist.
We identify as anti-racist. We do.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going to end on that bombshell. I feel better.
Do you?
I do.
Good.
I feel like an anti-racist because I identify as one. Okay.
It's just anti-racist. That's just so odd. It's an odd word.
It sounds like a made-up word.
It does. It is.
Really?
Anti-racist.
Anti-racist.
Like Antifa or something like that?
Well, that's a short for something else, right?
Anti-fascist.
Yeah.
Antifa or whatever. Pantifa. Whatever you would call them. Pajama boys. Kids with too much free time.
Yeah.
Get a job.
Get a job. But these teachers... You go to school, these teachers, this is what they believe. They're indoctrinating your children. Homeschool if you can.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason that my kids are 99% probably not going back to public school this year. None of them. Not only does the whole pandemic thing, I'm just kind of fed up with it and don't want to deal with the school system anymore. Mm-hmm. But all throughout the last 2 years since we moved down here, the kids would come home, the younger ones especially, and be like, "Well, my teacher was talking about this news article today and how this happened to the white person, black person." I'm like, why is your teacher talking about that? Is this a news class? No. Not only are they teaching these topics, but they're thrusting that teacher's opinion on my kids. Yeah. And I'm like, well, wait a minute.
The news is not.
The kids are coming home asking me why this exists. I'm like, well, because your teacher's dumb. But
yeah,
but that's why they're probably not going back.
Just because you're a teacher doesn't mean you know everything.
That's right.
And it's sad, but. Like I said, you're starting to see a lot of parents who are starting to raise up and not like this stuff, and then they're being thrown out of the scoreboard meetings, which I think is awesome. I love it, man. I love it. Go in there and start flipping some tables.
Fashion a whip.
Bring a whip.
Fashion a whip.
But see, we're kind of bound because if we lash out, then it's like, well, they're just hotheads. Mm-hmm. And if you lash out, what's going to happen is you're going to get on a list somewhere.
Yep.
And they're going to come knock on your door. And you're going to be a threat to your family and everybody else, and pretty soon you're a social pariah because of what you have done.
But Jesus proved that there was righteous anger.
Oh, absolutely. He overturned tables twice. It's in your Bible. Look it up. All right. We're going to end on that. We love you guys. Thanks for watching. I know this was painful. By the way, if you don't know what this is, it's a beeper.
Can you hit the button?
I don't know. Is it flashing?
No. Hit another button.
No.
Okay, it's flashing. Hold on.
Give it. You're being paged.
Back a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, that's how you knew you had a phone call.
That's right, the 90s rock, man. I miss those old days when we were all racist and proud of it.
Now we're racist and ashamed of it, but still don't care.
I know. I'm a racist. I can't help it. It just happens. All right. We love you guys. Thanks for watching the Gospel Broalition. Hang in there. Keep the fight going. Stop just sitting around and letting this stuff happen. In your church, when they bring it up, stand up and voice your disapproval with it. Talk to your pastor. I think every Southern Baptist church ought to get together this Sunday and have a powwow. Talk about this stuff because it's a very relevant issue.
make sure your messengers that are going share the opinions of the church.
Yeah.
The conservative messengers were the minority this week.
Minority. When the New York Times gives you a glowing article about how the conservatives were overcome at the convention.
Oh, yeah. That is worded as Southern Baptists narrowly head off conservative takeover.
Conservative
That's
takeover.
That's what they claimed happened when the new president got voted in.
Okay, so if something has to be overtaken, that means there's already something in power, which means they think that the liberals are in power of the Southern Baptist Convention. And the conservatives didn't overtake it. Right. So even the New York Times identifies Russell Moore and J.D. Greear and people like that as liberals.
And
find another church.
Yeah. And the New York Times is very liberal. So if they think they're liberal, it's not good for you.
No, I love you. That's why
I think
our heart, he don't understand because he's never been Southern Baptist, but our heart is kind of.
Yeah, I was General Baptist.
I've been watching it like the video I was telling you
Yeah.
about. I've been watching it.
I keep up with it.
Drift for several years.
I keep up with it, and it's
slow drift ends up in a really different place over time.
It's heartbreaking. It really is, because I know when I was on campus under Al Mohler how hard we fought to overcome this stuff, and now they just give it all back. But understand, critical race theory is what did it. Social injustice, that's what started it. And that was the doorway, and that's how liberalism crept in. That and Russell Moore. We're so stupid for hiring this dude. All right, we love you guys. We'll see you later. God bless.
See ya.
The Gospel Broalition is done, leaving behind charred minds, exhaust fumes, ammo, multiple cigar wrappers, and an empty bottle of bourbon. Mission
Darth Vader, if
accomplished.
you're asleep on the couch,
You've
now
been
it's time
listening
to
to
wake
the
up.
Gospel Broalition with Pastor
He's always
Lee,
telling me how
J.R.
he gets a
Robinson,
kick
and the
out of
Hoosier
watching
Hillbilly,
politics.
Mike Paul.
Oh, well.
It's
show
very
for
comical
men,
to sit back and
by
watch
men.
somebody.
I'm sure it
It's
is.
religion,
All the other countries are
politics,
laughing at it.
cars, guns,
Ireland, they just kind of run
cigars,
themselves
and anything
like
else
the big farmers.
flammable.
That's all they do.
We're talking about it. We hope you enjoyed the show.
They drink a
We
lot of
know
beer.
we
Go to the
have
pub.
fun.
Yeah.
We'll be
Well,
back
apparently
soon,
the Catholics
and
and
thank
Protestants
you
fight a
for
lot.
being a part
And
of
because
the
YouTube wrote a
Gospel
lot
Broalition.
wrote a lot of songs about that.
Really?
Yeah. And in fact, yeah.
Interesting.